gonna like.
And it's certainly not possible. I'm sorry, Kuki. No, it's like Tyler said. Well, every time those guys, like that Colony guys, attend at our DDL events, when they come to Darmstadt, it's quite funny because, at least the first time they had like 5 or 6 Leovolds and stuff. Second time there were not that many, 2 or 3, and the last time only 2 guys from Colonia, I guess, but another 4 guys from wherever. So Germany is known as the Leovold base. And
Nice.
So we're jumping straight into that game. There's a Sisay hand with Oko. That's a reason to keep that hand, definitely.
Yeah. But the red hand looks also pretty good. You only have a shock turn 1, no 1-drop, which kind of sucks, but besides that, you have a lot of high impact cards like Health Thunder and the Spear and the Flames. A lot of nice cards. And being on the play here really helps a lot.
Absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
So the turn to play is Memory Lapse, I think, then? Or just going for the Dreadball and the Kari. Let's see what he decides to do. I'm not sure on it. I think I would personally probably cast a Dreadbore.
Yeah, I was thinking that too.
Amount of impact 3-drops the red deck has are pretty low. And if he just goes 2-drop, 1-drop, you're pretty screwed if you keep open the Memory Lapse.
Pretty cool to have a New Zealand guy here, by the way.
Oh yeah, right. That's the one non-French guy in the tournament is the Sisay player.
Plus with Dreadbore, you protect your future planeswalkers much better, I think, from attack damage.
Even though Oko just doesn't need a lot of protection usually.
So the Sisay player would be in a very bad spot if he gets to play Blood Moon or something like that.
Yeah, right. Blood Moon would just win the game here on the spot. And he's playing both, so he's playing Magus of the Moon and Blood Moon.
So I don't know if you guys saw in chat, System player lost. The Sisay player is offering to come in for commentary if you want to hear his perspective on the match. I don't know if that's typical.
No, there's just a problem because we can't assign any rights to you because we're in a hidden thingy here for the streamers only. And during the stream, like I can try to arrange that, but I'm not responsible for giving away the rights here. So I will talk to the other guys. Actually, good idea.
It's kind of hard to finagle something like that in the post. You know, there's not really a channel for it at the moment. But anyway, so
Oko versus Fiery Confluence phase. So he's really going for the burn plan here, and he has a lot of reach. So if he draws another land here, he can go for Flames plus Searing Spell, which is 7 damage. So if the Sisay player decides to tap out here, he's just dead on the spot. So let's see what he goes for here.
Don't forget food tokens can make 3 life too. That's pretty good. Did I lose you guys?
No.
Your mute is so quiet that it feels like you're just gone.
Yeah, I have push to talk on, so we have a lot of construction work close to us, so if I don't put push to talk on, you will just randomly hear construction workers scream and drills going off or whatever.
Fair enough. So it looks like Othanissa found a command tower.
So let's see if he keeps open the food, or if he just dies to 7 points of reach.
Well, he can hold up food plus memory lapse, which is nice.
Yeah, so that's probably what he's going to do. But second food, okay. Yep. Wow, and another creature. That's nice. So now he can go for Kenra and Goblin Guide and just start smashing face.
Yeah.
And now the Sisay player has to both get on the board somehow and create some pressure for that, plus keep open enough life gain resources to stabilize the game somehow. Oh, no Earthshaker. Okay, that's interesting.
Very interesting.
So he doesn't have lethal with the flames, so don't really see a reason to do so.
Yeah, that seems a little odd. I mean, if he could have recast Kari, that would have made sense.
Is flames an instant? I think so, right?
It is, but
so maybe he's thinking about keeping that open and then pushing with a lot of unexpected range next turn with the end step flames and then Searing Spear plus Earthshaker Kendra in one turn. So he's just hiding some of the reach he currently has in his hand.
Yeah, because he knows this guy's gonna. Wait, did
that makes 0 sense?
Whoa,
that makes
what?
What did just happen? Oh, he tapped out for the food, and then he used that timing for the flames. And doesn't flames say you can't heal?
They can't gain life, correct?
Oh wow, yeah, right.
That made a lot of sense because they knew. I mean, they're not gonna just waste 2 mana, so
yeah, right.
For sure, gonna use the food. That made
I forgot about the line on flames. I thought that was one of those cards that exiles when you kill a creature with that.
No, it's like Skull Crack, but 4 instead of 3 damage.
So let's see.
I mean,
you can place. No, he only have 4 mana, so you have no way to sort Sisay plus make a food. So you probably just make another food. Keep open memory lapse and double food or something. That's not really getting you anywhere. You could play Teferi plus Teferi untap to have at least 1 food open, but then you're just dead. Flames can target creatures only placed. Okay, so that's that card. Yeah, all the 3 mana deal 4 damage cards are just do the same stuff. You can hear from that I'm a very, very big expert on the Kari deck. 3 mana 4 damage, just all do the same.
So what's the problem here with bringing down Sisay and on blocking, since it's 4/4, exiling it with swords?
Yeah, or crack the food if you're not in that big of a danger. That's the one.
You are in a big of a danger with a Searing Spear and Earthquake Share. Okay.
Yeah, right, but
yeah,
you know.
Okay. He didn't use the Oko. Okay. I think he's all right. He has the activation, the food activation. He can exile a creature. He can counter a spell with the memory lapse.
He said the line that he wanted to do was hold up swords plus double food or food plus memory lapse.
Okay, yeah, that's the other thing I was thinking about.
And
sword is nice if he just gets on another haster. So
right. It seems like a pretty reasonable line.
So Earthshaker Kenra comes down. Now we can swords that.
Yeah, I got a swords that, I think.
And go down to 2. Let's see if he cracks the food before the Goblin Guide damage. Because if he only sacrifices it after that, the red player can Searing Spear in response to the food crack.
Yeah, I'm sure you want to do it beforehand. So like, what are you only worried about? Burn and haste creatures, right? So if they don't play another haste creature, can memory lapse the Kenra.
Memory lapse it now and then swords the attacker. That could be another option. Then you would be pretty safe.
System player loss giving us
Wow, this place super cool.
spoiler. Really interesting.
Yeah, it is.
It's crazy how much impact Oko had on this game. If there wasn't Oko, this game would have been like over
Yeah,
2 turns ago or something.
that's true.
Oko's a ridiculous card.
Yeah. It's like just so much impact on one matchup. If you draw it, you basically have a very, very hard time losing unless you are behind anyways by a lot.
Is Oko banned in Legacy?
Yes, I think so.
I do think so.
We're just-
I think that the issue with Oko Legacy as well is that all the Astrolabe decks are broken anyways. And then you can just start making Astrolabes into 3/3s. That's just...
System says it's legal in Legacy.
Okay, so you still have those decks around. Yeah, right, it's still here.
Ooh, hit the land off the Goblin Guide. There's the swords for the Kenra.
Oh, it's not even that played that much. If you look at the Legacy format overview, it's not a lot of Oko decks. Interesting. So I guess that deck card is a bit too slow sometimes.
So we're tanking on the sack food before taking damage or not phase.
Yo,
Hello, good evening.
how's it going?
Good, good.
So,
What's up, systems?
Yeah, this match is a lot of me sitting there thinking. I'm sorry.
Yeah, we've seen that already. But it makes sense. We are thinking as well, like
Yeah,
it's not like even with both hands inside you can't really, you still have a hard time figuring out the perfect play.
yeah. It's so tough because like one very small misstep and I just lose. But yeah, I sack the food here before combat damage because it's less likely to lose in response to a burn spell after losing the 2 life from Goblin Guide as well.
Yeah, you would have just lost there if you had a Series Spear.
Yeah, and now he goes for
Oh,
Series
he goes
Spear.
for it. Okay, interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, you would have
So
been
now he
really
needs, really needs something.
Yeah, but here he's out of cards. Kari Zev costs 4, and I'm untapping with Oko.
And you draw Kari Zev. Okay,
and
okay.
Sky is like maybe the best draw in the match.
I love
don't
that
know,
card.
I don't know if you can see, but he's got a Thunder in the graveyard. You know the
Yeah, Hell's Thunder. Yep.
Yeah. So I can kill the Goblin Guide and remove the Hell's Thunder from the graveyard, and it's
Yeah.
removing a lot of pressure here. I think my line is making a food and doing this and then pass.
I'm just keeping open the memory lapse.
Yeah, exactly. I was thinking about playing Teferi, but I just can't squeeze it in while having memory lapse plus food active, and I think it's just better to wait because at this point he's really running out of options.
Yeah, and if you stabilize next turn, you're fine.
Yeah,
There's
yeah,
like
exactly.
no way he can win unless he chains like big burn spell into big burn spell, and even that wouldn't like really get him anywhere.
Yeah. So I'm assuming the line is next turn for him casting Kari Zev, and then I have just so many options.
Oko on 12. Jesus Christ.
Yeah. Yeah, so here's the Kaya's Guile, and we spend a few seconds to figure out if the Goblin Guide also goes to exile. But it's just following the order on the card, so it's fine.
Yep. That's one of the best parts about that card against stuff like Uro. If you get rid of it with Kaya's Guile, he just goes straight to exile. Or like Hogak as well. That card is just perfectly worded.
Why did you not decide to gain life? What was your...
The Hell's Thunder's in the graveyard, so you have to exile the graveyard.
Okay.
Yeah.
Reasonable.
It removes one more resource from my opponents.
Mm. So now is the question, do you crack it?
How greedy are you?
We'll find out soon enough here.
I think there's no reason.
There's no reason to crack it now. I hope you don't do it.
No spoilers. I'll let you find out.
All right. Nice. Gotcha.
Good Magic player.
Yeah, I don't take the risk.
More Planeswalkers. Okay. So is there any other life gain source in your deck besides Oko?
Yeah, so I have Bruce Tal.
I need to switch very quickly. Sorry.
It's okay.
I need to join the final match.
Yeah. Yeah, so I have Bruce Tal, Ajani Vengeance, Breya, the Artificer, which you can sack to make 5 life. Lightning Helix. Let me check.
Just thinking about if playing Sisay here is worth it, and if you could get a life gain source from that, if you untap with her next turn. But playing Teferi is probably just straight up better.
Yeah, I think I want Teferi and play first, and then I go for the Sisay line next turn, because I can untap 2 lands. I have Teferi plus 2 food plus memory lapse.
Yep.
So I can go ahead to gain up to 6 life with memory lapse available, and then go for the Sisay play next turn with mana available, or maybe 1 turn after.
So that's actually quite an interesting spot. So if Kari draws 2 bolts here, another bolt here, it would actually be correct to just crack both foods here in the end step to play around the second bolt. Since if you crack both foods next turn, you cannot do that in response. If you would crack the food end step, of course, like 1, then you would die to double bolt.
Yeah, I think I do that actually.
Oh, so that's how you lose.
No,
let's
no.
see. Okay. Oh wow.
Oh, Vexing Devil is not a really good one here.
Yeah.
No, I think this Vexing Devil is kind of useless. And he plays it, yeah. So I have the knowledge, and then you'll see me like spending 30 seconds to read the card and just check that I'm not dead.
Yeah, you can just let it resolve.
Yeah.
Oh, Crocs has a nice one.
Yeah, it's
How has
okay,
it performed so far?
It hard won me a match in round 4. I was playing this matchup actually against another Kari Zev, and it got him into a really hard position where he had to discard his last card, and then I reanimated it 2 turns later to block, and yeah. I think it's generally quite a strong card. It fits the requirement of being low mana cost, so you can fetch with Sisay, and having an effect when it comes in, so I think it's fairly reasonable.
Yeah, makes sense.
Yeah, and this is 1 food, and I think I just sacked the 1 food. He goes for the
Here comes the
Incinerate.
Incinerate. And you just crack the second one.
Yeah.
You're fine.
So, just getting rid of the Vexing Devil with Teferi. Probably.
I think my line is actually Sisay, activate, find a Johnny Vengeant, the Vexing Devil, and then untap 2 lands with Teferi with food and or memory lapse up.
Yeah, it's probably... I think Teferi Plus is just so strong here with the foods and all the ways to use your mana. Not really necessary to minus him.
System, do you want to speak briefly to why you decided to drop the Gigantha in your build for this tournament?
Honestly, I didn't have it in the first place. So, I was looking at this deck prior to the set the companions were in. I forgot the name. Someone tell me so I don't look like an idiot.
It's Icorian, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
One of the recent broken sets, whatever.
Yeah, so built the deck before Ikoria, well, net deck to deck before Ikoria, and on the analysis, more mins. On analysis of Gigantha, I had a look yesterday, and you have to cut a lot of key cards for the deck, or just really nice cards, like Liliana of the Veil. I play an Ashiok, which is kind of useful sometimes. The Dream Render, the one that they can't search.
Yeah, pretty good.
You lose Mind Sculptor, Counterspell, Supreme Verdict. Yeah, there is an opportunity cost, I guess, is my response, and I didn't feel like having a 5/5 for 5 mana, especially with the companion rules change, was like really worth it.
Interesting. Would you have run it if the rules change hadn't come into effect?
Really hard question. Maybe. Yeah, I think it's definitely considerable. Again, like, do you really want to cut access to some of those cards? Like, especially the Planeswalkers, being some of the stronger Planeswalkers you can have at 3 and 4 mana? I don't know.
Yeah, I think if you're running the control Planeswalker version, you're not really good with cutting all those cards. But if you're playing the more creature-oriented Geist of Saintrath, whatever version you should be, that definitely makes Giganta worth it, since you're just getting another aggro drop in grinding out games.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, well, no spoilers, but I have to go. Enjoy watching the rest of the match, and maybe I'll catch up with you guys after.
Okay.
Yep.
Thank you for joining us.
Thank you for joining.
Yeah, thanks for your input.
Thanks, guys.
Ciao, ciao. So I currently have to fix it because I just got disconnected.
Oh, okay.
As this sometimes happens. Yep, so I got the situation. There we are. That should be it.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Yeah, look.
Maybe I'm a bit like 30 seconds behind.
That looks
It's
fine.
always a bit complicated. Like you have this bar, the timeline, and to a certain point you can just click towards, and but you can't go behind like 30 or 50% of the video. So from that point on you have to fast forward the whole game. That's pretty annoying. Do you know what I mean?
I haven't really played with it myself, but I'll take your word for it.
The replay system is not very good, let's say it like that.
Exactly. Let's sum it up like this.
I see. Okay.
It's like when you back then when you used like Windows Media Player to play big files, and the scrolling thing was just messed up, and if you skip to a part, the Media Player would just crash sometimes. Not sure if you remember those good times.
Yeah, I
Been
do.
many years since I've used Windows Media Player.
That might be reasonable.
All right, Sisay blue, green. So Sisay's 4-4 at the moment. No, 5-5.
5. So now he can find a 4-drop, since it says less than the current power. I think he will probably find a Ajani. Yeah, like you said before.
Oh right.
And he still untaps 2 lands and step with the Teferi.
That's insane.
Wow. So he basically won the game with 1 life left.
Yeah, that's Oko the Gathering
Yeah.
with 16 counters on it. Okay. So let's look onto the second one.
I think someone in the chat was saying about the turn the Kari player incinerated, and it was the last card in hand, and clearly the Sisay player could just crack a food in response. Maybe it was better to just play Kari Zev that turn and hold down to the incinerate.
I agree to that. Yeah.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, I think the N7 incinerate was weird with the food still in play. But in the end, the Kari wouldn't have done a lot. Since he had enough tools to just remove it.
Yeah, it was a long shot, but it seemed like
it was definitely the right play. So here we go. Johnny Vengeance is pretty good against Mono Red. Voice is also kind of nice since he has a blocker that's also gets recursion. Yeah, right. Besides that, the hand has only 2 lands, which is a bit risky maybe.
Yeah.
And no real pressure.
Definitely
say
is.
it like that. On the other hand, the Kari player has mono burn. Searing Blaze can be pretty good here if your opponent taps out for the Voice of Resurgent and you still have a land drop. It's pretty nice getting the 2-for-1.
Yeah.
But you don't have a creature 1-drop. But on the other hand, you have Flame Rift, and Flame Rift is like the best card in that deck. Is Ajani Vengeance still good enough? I would say if you're playing a good stuff pile, if your only goal is to play control good stuff, I don't think he's good enough. Because the plus is just useless against a pretty wide amount of decks that are currently played.
Actually, there are a lot of more Simsy 4 Planeswalkers that just got outdated. For example, the original Elspeth is also something you should not consider to include in your decks anymore.
I think a lot of power creep happened in that direction by both new creatures printed, new removal cards printed, and new
just
so
better replacements, better
cards. And also you have like Kaya's Skull now, which is a better life gain source compared to a Johnny Vengeance. But I think in this Planeswalker deck where you can kind of toolbox it and search it with your Sisay sometimes, and in general you want a wide color distribution of Planeswalkers, I think it's fine. It's a good card against Mono Red. You probably you cannot afford to play stuff like Timely Reinforcements in the deck. And I think in general that deck probably has a lot harder time against Mono Red compared to like classic control decks, because you're not really featuring all the lightning bolts and all the efficient interaction. So having a few more catch-up spells like Ajani Vengeance is probably not completely absurd. So
good points.
Shaker Kenra went into the Mana Leak and Kari resolved. Okay.
Yeah. Felix, you might want to change the score. It's a little. Your 1-0 should be flipped to Sisay. Sisay's up 1-0, I believe. There's a debate about whether it's correct to shock face turn 1 if there's not a creature target.
I think against this deck, it's probably right. I think, like, it's not like you are going to have a billion targets for it, and
They're not going to
you-
play Sisay as a 2/2, right? I mean, ever.
Probably not. Yeah, probably not. So Kari connected and he passed the turn. What is he keeping up? Lightning Strike? Collective Defiance is a sorcery, right?
Yes.
So probably just looking to Lightning Strike end step. But this Kari will die to a Johnny Vengeant now, so that's a 6, 3 additional life points for him. Yeah, the duress is nice. Let's see what he takes here. So first he responds with a Lightning Strike.
That's
So
a good call.
he cannot waste the turn.
Can't waste the mana.
Yep.
Nope.
Will he go for the memory lapse? Looks like it.
I think we're seeing Kari in these games we've been watching today. Like Kari win when they have creature pressure and just lose pretty badly
Yeah.
when they don't have
The
creature.
one drop is very important for that list. That's why you play even the worst ones. It's like the burn spells aren't good enough to win on their own against most decks.
Mm-hmm.
But also the creature plan isn't really good enough. So the 3 and 4 drop creature plan, or just playing only creatures, isn't good enough to win against most decks, since Kari just doesn't have a lot of impact in a decent amount of games. So you basically want to chip a bit of damage with Kari and 1-drops early game, and then just hope to draw enough burn spells to finish the game. I think that's how most games go.
Yeah, I'd agree 100%.
Oh yeah, he also had Dovin's Veto, so he didn't even have to memory lapse there.
Yeah, I guess I would just discard Flame Rift here because it's the most damage.
Yeah, and most mana efficient as well. I think you're currently not that worried about the Searing Blaze, since your next play will probably be the Ajani. And
Yeah,
Incendiary
exactly.
Flow is... Does voice say leave the battlefield or die?
Die.
Okay, so Incendiary Flow would exile your voice and not giving you the token.
Yep.
Not sure if you care about that.
I think
We will see.
I mean, you should always go for the face balls here, right?
Faceballs.
Yeah, I mean, typically you're not playing that deck to roast the opponent's creatures all the time,
Definitely.
and that's something.
But on the other hand, you don't have enough burn to win the game just by playing all your burn spells out.
Yeah, that's also true.
So let's see what he goes for here. Grim Lavamancer's nice, so he can combine that one with the Collective Defiance if he wants to.
I think the best
Play the free
play.
drop. Oh no, he doesn't have a land. Okay, so...
There's an Incendiary Flow.
And just get down to Grim Lavamancer and just...
Yeah, I think
play as
that's
fast as possible.
okay.
I
So
like it.
you have to play the Ajani here anyways, right? Do you? This is 3/3 with a land drop. 3/3 8. Not enough anyways. But over 2 turns. There's a memory lapse waiting to do something about it. You could also cast a Supreme Verdict and gamble that you will survive the next turn. It just needs... Nah, I'm not sure about that. Heavily depends on what the Kari player is drawing here.
Here's Johnny.
Here's a journey. And there's Sozu the Punisher. Interesting card. So if he plays it right now and decides to... he could do that, probably.
Just like play Zozu, attack a Johnny to finish it off.
I mean, he will attack the Grim Lava Mancer, exactly. Now he played Sozu. Straight playing into this Supreme Verdict. Wow. Didn't make a good use of Grim Lava Mancer so far. Yep.
Well, what could he have done with Grim Lava Mancer besides attack? That's
dealing face damage, but that would require the Searing Blaze to deal 4 damage. 3 instead of 1.
yeah.
So now it's a bit awkward. He needs to cast a Searing Blaze and he has no target for a creature. So the best thing he can do is playing Kari Zev. Or he can also play Collective Defiance. Discarding his hand and drawing one more? I'm not sure. Yeah, Kari Zev is probably the best one here.
Yeah. Just enough incidental life gain to keep Sisay going here this match. So we have Nicol Bolas the Ravager versus Search for Scant to hold up Memory Lapse, or we could play Search plus Voice of Resurgence.
What happened to the Johnny?
Grim Lava Mancer attacked it to
Yep.
death.
Okay.
And system does know what's in Kari, or does
I
Kari's
think he
hand
knows
known?
the Searing Blaze, but not the Collective Defiance, but I'm not sure. No, he knows all the cards. He knows all the cards, yeah.
Okay. So Nicol Bolas, maybe not the best.
Fetch lands are a problem here.
Yeah. Do you want to have a multiple of 3 life total? Do you?
Yes. And sometimes even that's not enough.
I think the Ravager would be a pretty clear play if a Sisay player did not know about the Collective Defiance. But if you just run out Ravager, Searing Blaze gets pitched because that's whatever, and then you take 4 plus another, or Bolas dies, and then you take 3, and then another 3, go to 1. And you can't even fetch at that point.
I agree to Kuki here. I would also play the voice, keep up the Memory Lapse.
I think I agree too.
So he has a blocker for the ape.
Yeah. Search for Scanta is too slow to
Yeah,
be
that's
impactful
the
right
issue
now.
with that card. You really need a time window where your opponent is just gifting you tempo to really use it.
It's either you play it on turn 2 or you play it on turn 8 or
Yeah, but
something. It's like,
even on turn 2, you need like your opponent needs to be like, okay, I'm not playing anything, or you have like a board wipe to catch up against creature only decks. But I feel like that card is just a bit too slow. And even if you get it down, sometimes you can flip it to gain some tempo, but most of the time it's just like, okay, you're getting some better card quality, but it's not really worth the 2 mana on turn 2, which is mostly the most important turn for a lot of games, where it's really decided who gets ahead and who falls behind.
Right. Oh. Fetching here.
And then it's probably Sisay plus memory lapse. Just trying to get a blocker down.
But he knows about Searing Blaze, right?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, so, but on the other hand, you would need a land to get the full value out of Searing Blaze. Or even get any value out of it. Okay, so he plays both creatures. So let's see if he can find a land here to get Searing Blaze rolling. That would just be lethal, right? So he can Collective Defiance, deals 3 damage to the face, I think, and 4 damage to a creature.
Correct.
So that would just kill. So let's see if he's lucky. Yes, it does it. That's just 6 burn.
Yeah, that's game.
Yeah, I don't think there was anything he could have really done there. Like, even keeping up memory lapse, like, would have only delayed his death and not really get him anywhere. And that was the situation where you had the opportunity to push with Sisay and get something on the board and then worry about the other stuff later. But since he had so much burn, there's not really a lot he can do. So, time for game 3.
Was the idea to double block Kari or just throw the voice in front of the Ragavan and save the damage?
Sure. Yeah, getting on the board was probably the right play. You just hope that your opponent doesn't, because if your opponent has like that the amount of burn spells he had, you're not winning unless you. Yeah, maybe if you not even with Oko, or Ajani Vengeance was already in the graveyard, so he was really limited. I think maybe Kaya's Guile. Maybe if you top deck Kaya's Guile and play the memory lapse, that would have been a way to at least try to stabilize. Yeah. Yeah, in those kind of games where you play control against mono red and you have the option to either push and you have the other option is to keep up more interaction, it's usually you have to be decisive and take one of the options and not do like
half measured
half-measured plays, and you have to see how am I winning the game, and if I'm not winning the game that way, okay, I would have probably never won the game. So finding a clear line to at least success and just pushing that and hoping for the best is most of the time the best play.
All right.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Basically, you have to look at your outs, and if there was no relevant out, so might as well.
And that third hand here looks pretty good for Sisay.
Let's look at it. There's a Brutal, which is an insane life swing, and Uro. Uro is also nice. So yeah, Uro is okay if you have like an additional land drop to get down here, I think then he's great. Otherwise, since he doesn't have a great way to get remove creatures or stuff like that, he might be in trouble if the Kari player leads with 1-drop, 2-drop here. But he's currently only on 1 land, so if he doesn't draw the second land, I think Sisay definitely have a chance here.
Bruce Tarle's one of those cards that you don't expect it because you think it's like this card doesn't exist anymore, but sure.
Yeah,
Sure it does.
it's okay. Yeah, I think it's way more broken if you can build around it, really build around it in the command zone.
Yeah.
But it's a bit too expensive for a lot of other decks. But in this deck, it really shines.
Oh, we got another
Oh,
man.
there's the second land, so that looks pretty good for the Kari player.
Yep. One of those lands in Sisay is City of Brass too, which is not really where you want to be against. A lot of red.
Especially if you play the tap out style, you can't get away without City of Brass, I think.
Oof. And shock lands too.
Ugh.
Wow.
And fetch lands, so that really hurts.
Yeah.
So let's see what the Goblin Guide flips. Eladamri's Call. Okay. That's the tutor for the creature on instant speed. That's probably not the card you want to see here. Even though it can get you life gain sources, you already have all the life gain sources you want. You're just mostly looking for the time frame to cast them.
Oh yeah, for sure.
And in the current state of the game, the creatures will just hit for additional 5 damage next turn. Oh, oh wow, okay. Oh no, okay, he counters Kari. Okay, fine. I was wait. Oh, Sisay is on the play. Okay, that makes sense. Tribal Flames is nice. So
are we gonna get Uro? Play Uro here?
I think you have like the choice between not shocking yourself and just removing the Goblin Guide, and then next turn you can play Uro and keep up a 2 CMC spell. Or you play Uro this turn and just get a shock land, additional shock land in there tapped. And Tribal Flames is an instant, so you can keep it up with Memory.
No. Flames is sorcery.
Really?
Yeah, pretty sure. Oh, I think I thought.
Yeah, it's a sorcery. It's a sorcery. You're right.
The turn passed, but it was a mistake, misclick.
So yeah, so he went for the Tribal Flames.
I think the Goblin. Yep.
I think keeping up that would be a bit greedy because your opponent can just. Oh, now it's an interesting decision. Do you want to push the Hell Thunder while he steps out, or just get the Uncrop Crusher here and hit for multiple turns? Yeah, I like the Uncrop Crusher play.
I agree. That seems better because you can exert it next turn.
If he's even getting a blocker in there. Oh wow, can he cast that? Yeah, I think so. Oh no, he's playing green. Okay, so this is way different than my usual. White, blue, red. Yeah, he can cast it if he shocks himself, but he chose not to. He goes for the Uro. And the Gilded Goose, interesting.
Ooh, wow. There's another life gain source.
Yeah. It's a bit slow sometimes, but if you are in the situations where you're just both top decking cards, it just can be worth it by never tapping out and then just making foods if you have the opportunity to do so.
Mm-hmm.
But the initial food helps as well. Plus, it's a blocker against Uncrop Crusher, and you don't really want to exert it on the Gilded Goose.
Wow, the Kari player drew 4 lands in a row. That's wild.
After keeping a 1-lander, that's not the worst spot to be in, right?
No. Certainly not.
Here comes the Hell's Thunder. Probably going to be blocked by the Goose. No, you're going to exert here, right? Yeah, you're just gonna. Oh, you bolted.
I could see an argument for bolting it here.
Okay, so since we know both hands, I actually like the exert here, because when he gets down Breya, you're not really exerting. You're getting any value out of the exert. But
well, another reason to exert too potentially is to keep Oro from escaping an extra turn or something like that.
Oh, right. Yeah, that's a nice one. Correct. Yeah, and I think that's the Kari's player's arrow, so... Wait, that's just lethal, right? Or did he already take the damage?
I don't know. If it's
Felix? Are you here? I'm not sure.
um
If you could scroll down on the message thing, so it updates. Thank you. You just scroll down, so yeah, right. Okay, so he already took the damage, I think.
yeah, it's
Yeah.
not just game over. So collateral damage, the thunder or whatever. Hell's
Yep.
thunder.
Exactly.
That makes sense.
Ajani Vengeance, wow. Okay, that can certainly turn the game around.
Jeez. All the life gain sources.
Yeah, it's a lot. So here you could play Sisay, keep up memory lapse, but I think Unearth is an ability. But you still have the Goose. Okay, so that's not that big of trouble. If you would have had 6 lands here, the play would have been way nicer. Or you just sacrifice the food if you have to. That would be the other option.
What does Bray do again? Gains life, kills a creature. I forget. 5 life. Kills a creature and 3 to a player.
Yeah, 3 to a player, -4/-4, and 5 life gain. So yeah, you could get down Brayer, and if you are in big trouble, you can sacrifice the food and the top thirst to gain 5 life with Brayer. And at least feels decent.
Yep. Still can hold up memory lapse too.
And the top thirsts are very, very nice against the return of the Health Thunder next turn if he wants to do that. So he will probably be forced to just tap out for Kari and trying to stabilize the game that way.
Yeah. Yeah, because Kari is basically having to waste a turn this next turn.
Yeah, you're not really doing anything with that. Those were some decent cards against the mono red deck.
Yeah. We'll just keep printing all this insanely playable incidental life gain. I don't know how much Kari can survive at a certain point.
And the issue is that if you would unban, most of the cards that are available for unbans are at least decently unfun for casual decks. So
What do you mean?
I think I think Eidolon is pretty safe. I don't think there's a Eidolon would boost red deck wins against anything, but cards like Fire Blast, for example, or Price of Progress would just completely destroy anything that's not playing all the broken life gain cards that are available, and plus just having all the good cards. So those cards would just turn the matchup, probably change all matchups for a lot better. And I don't like Fire Blast at sake like that, because I got wrecked by it in Pauper all the time. Just so stupid in that format. If you have 4 Fire Blast and you just, you're on turn 4, you're still at 15 life, okay, you're dead.
You know, I'm probably gonna get a lot of flack for this, but I love Price of Progress just because it keeps the green in check.
It's such a broken card. I think the main issue with Price of Progress is not that it's broken in red deck wins, but it's also broken in Izzet. And it would just push Izzet into whatever tier you can imagine.
So I was just thinking about that. The Sisay player could have done some nasty block interactions, like blocking both creatures and second and top tier in response. But okay. In case there's anything like Skull Crick.
Yeah. But what attackers? There's only the Mutavolt.
No, he could have unearthed the Hell's Thunder.
Oh, right.
No,
okay.
no, he can. He has a
He
mountain.
He
Yeah.
can now unearth the Hell Thunder, and
Yeah.
right. Interesting. Okay.
Did the Sisay player just gain 5 life with the?
Top tier, yeah,
Yeah.
he just did that main phase to
Wow.
be safe.
So
Interesting.
next turn, if he casts Bruise on Breya, that's easy peasy. I don't know. Is it?
Yeah, that's insane.
Yeah.
I think if he untaps next turn, he's in a, especially if he manages to draw land, he's in an insanely good spot.
The problem is just that Breya won't deal double strike versus Ash Sealed if he blocks.
Right. So if he blocks, he will only gain 4 life. But I think he might even just attack with the Ash Seal a lot here. And
No, the
hope
comment
that
is already done, isn't it? No, it's not. Okay.
no I think it's wow, that's okay.
He wants to get rid of
Imagine
Breya.
he would have gone for. Oh, he still has a bolt open. Okay, I didn't saw the mountain behind that. I thought he would. I thought he had no mountain open.
This interestingly, I think this might play better into the Bruce that he doesn't know that the Sisay player has, but
Yeah, if he bolts here, that's definitely a decent play.
So actually he should have. Yeah, if he bolts the Breya, then it's like
he has
that.
to bolt the Breya now, I think.
Probably. Because now there's a land gone and he's
But
away.
you also don't know about the Bruce. You
No,
don't
of course
know about
not.
it. And if he, of course, Sisay is still good with the Breya in play, but on the other hand, if you expect your opponent to have no other life gain sources since they already drew one, which is, I think it's not that weird to think like that. Having the bolt open and just drawing another random burn spell just wins you the game here.
Yeah.
On the other hand, by sacrificing the Mutual Vault, you just... Wait.
what?
No, that's wrong. Okay,
What?
so now we know which misplay.
I don't
Yeah,
think
that makes
any
no
of that
sense.
any of that made sense because if you just why didn't you if you weren't gonna kill Breya, why didn't you just play Hell's Thunder from the graveyard?
Right.
Yeah.
You lost a land for what?
To
Now
do
you-
2 damage, whatever.
yeah, and now you don't even have the 5th land for Hell's Thunder.
And you're
anymore.
going to win if he just activates the goose and makes the food. Like, you have enough fuel now with the castle and stuff like that to just win the game from that spot on.
And you
But
know
now you're just
you're
dead.
miles way out of reach.
Yeah, that's over.
Absolutely.
Especially with the land top deck and the memory lapse in hand. That's just a precious game.
Jesus.
Wow. Okay. Yeah. Calling. That's I think the best definition of punished I've ever seen.
Wow.
Yeah. Not to mention bolting the bird gets Uro 1 card deeper to being cast too. So
Why did he do that? Interesting.
oof. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, Martin is just chatting with the other guy there.
Okay. What's up, Zohaz TV? Who's there? Why is it Johnny in memory lapse? Is it just showing him like still have all these like scoop?
Probably yes. I mean, he draws the arc trail is not really useful here, and he won't get through with the Ash Sealet. And I mean, it doesn't even make sense to attack here.
No.
So that's pretty much it.
Yeah, I think the way out would have been bolting Breya, even though I think in the dark attacking with the Hell's Thunder was what I would have done, but
Yeah, I agree.
Cedric called good game. Okay. Is that you back, Martin?
Yep.
Oh, cool. Looks like Sisay took it overall 2-1.
Yeah. That's That's just GG. I think the